In a recent interview, former Barcelona and Arsenal star Thierry Henry revealed that he's concerned about the mental well-being of Paris Saint Germain star Neymar. The Brazilian had quite an open discussion with a local media outlet about the pressures of being a football player, and Henry thinks that the Brazil international's statements are a plea for help. While he was linked with a move away from the Wanda Metropolitano during the January transfer window, João Felix decided to work on himself and is now the main man at Atletico Madrid. Things have changed considerably for the young forward. PSG are holding their breath with the young Frenchman suffering from an injury during a recent training session ahead of the game against Real Madrid. Can the World Cup winner be fit in time for the second leg? Arkadiusz Milik and Jorge Sampaoli are not seeing eye to eye, and it's likely that the Polish striker is going to leave Olympique Marseille at the end of the current campaign. Before we get started, we want to share the sponsor of today's video. The OneFootball app is the ultimate football platform and is a must-have for every football fan, so that you can follow all of your favourite leagues, teams and players all the time right from your phone. You can be sure to turn on notifications for specific players to be instantly alerted when they score a goal or when they're involved in other breaking news. It is the best and easiest way to stay up to date with everything football. Click the link in the description down below to download the app right now. You won't regret it. The relationship between Arkadiusz Milik and Marseille manager Jorge Sampaoli are cordial at best, with the Pole expected to leave the velodrome in the summer. In recent weeks, we've seen the dawn of misunderstanding between Arkadiusz Milik and Sampaoli at Olympique de Marseille. The two men exchanged curious pleasantries through the media, one reproaching the choices of the other, while the other questioned the involvement of one. But according to our own research, this is much more than a simple misunderstanding. A real resentment has found a place in the heart of the Polish striker, scorer of 16 goals in all competitions since the start of the season, who does not like the way his manager uses him and the lack of game time as he considers himself back to near optimal form. According to information from RMC Sport, the former Napoli man is very upset and does not intend to stay at OM next season if the Argentine tactician is still at the helm. Things are very clear for him and his entourage. They will ask Pablo Longoria for an exit voucher if El Pelado is still on the Marseille bench for the 2022-23 campaign. A few days ago, the club president explained that he supported his coach, who arrived at the club about a year ago, in his choices, and said he wanted to build with him over time at the Orange Velodrome. Will he continue this course of action when the latter has visibly robbed one of the major assets of his workforce? The Portuguese forward put on a great show on Sunday evening against Real Betis and is definitely getting back to his usual best. Last season, João Felix had already put in some high-flying performances in the first part of the season before collapsing in the last months of the competition, not helped by repeated physical glitches. This 2021-22 campaign had started on the same dynamic, with some good matches, but far too much irregularity and intermittency, which often pushed Diego Simeone to leave him on the bench. The Spanish press has also repeatedly mentioned a far from ideal relationship between the Argentine coach and the Portuguese prodigy, but the former Benfica man has been a hit in recent weeks. 4 goals in the last 4 games, but above all, a disconcerting ease in making the difference with the ball, and the feeling of seeing him happy when he plays. However, nothing has really changed, as he is still evolving in this two-man attack, especially in support of another striker, Angel Correa or Antoine Griezmann. A true playmaker for the team, Felix is probably the key to Atletico's recent resurgence. The capital giants are in good form right now and have a great chance of doing well against Manchester United at Old Trafford, and Simeone believes that all Felix needed was a bit of time. The Argentine admits that the youngster might be angry at him, but eventually he will be thankful. Is this the Atletico Madrid manager burying the hatchet? The change in attitude has worked out well for Felix, who's now putting his feelings aside and is doing what is best for the team. The youngster is growing in his role and is maturing as well, which only bodes well for Atletico Madrid, who can still salvage a lot of good things from this campaign. The entire city of Paris is holding its breath as they prepare to take on Real Madrid in the second leg of the Champions League round of 16. The Parisian giants fear that they might have to do it all without the services of Kylian Mbappe. The undisputed leader of this team's attack suffered an injury during a training session after colliding with Idrissa Gueye. Medical tests are pending and we might have to wait and see whether the injury is a serious one or not. Kylian Mbappe suffered an injury on the left foot in training today. He performed treatment this afternoon. The clinical examination is reassuring, and a new decision will be made in 24 hours. Sergio Ramos is training individually until the end of the week. Ander Herrera trains individually and continues treatment for his conjunctivitis. He will resume training with the group at the end of the week, informed the runaway Liga and leaders on their official site. The native of Bondi doesn't know whether he will feature in the encounter at the Santiago Bernabeu, but is certain to make the trip to the Spanish capital. Be that as it may, PSG are definitely cursed when the big Champions League games arrive. After Neymar in 2018 and 19 and Mbappe just before the Final Four in Lisbon in 2020, the club's star player can't seem to stay injury-free when it matters the most. According to rumours, PSG are monitoring the situation of Manchester United winger Marcus Rashford. Rashford could work well with Mauricio Pochettino. According to information from The Times, Paris Saint Germain are indeed interested in the 23-year-old forward playing at Manchester United. The player trained by the Red Devils remains under contract until June 2023, which also has the possibility of extending this deal for an additional year. The Mancunian number 10 has only started 14 times in all competitions since the start of the season and has scored 4 goals and provided 2 assists. Reportedly, the player is bemused at the lack of playing time under Ralf Rangnick. Despite being a no-show most of the times when he's given a chance, Rashford believes that he deserves more minutes on the pitch. Well, we all feel that we deserve one thing or another, but then again we also need to ask whether we deserve those things or not. Food for thought. While speaking to L'Equipe, Thierry Henry was very open about his feelings towards Neymar's recent statements. The Brazil international has not been at his devastating best in recent months, and Henry believes that a lot of that is down to his mental well-being. The legendary Frenchman says that there are certain things that Neymar says during interviews which tend to show you that he isn't in the right frame of mind. When you analyse an action and he doesn't position himself properly, then fine, that's a fact, and you have to recognise that, he told L'Equipe. Yes, he hasn't been as good recently, but there are reasons. Neymar has often talked in his recent interviews about his well-being, about the pressure, so my first thought is he alright? It's not about him doing nutmegs, sombreros, or about the fact that he doesn't beat people with his pace anymore. He talks, but can you hear him? He's asking for help. There are things going on in his head, like any human being. In a recent interview, the 30-year-old revealed that the 22 World Cup in Qatar is probably going to be his last, because he is not sure if he has the mental fortitude to deal with the game anymore. The former Barcelona man has had a torrid time with injuries as well, which have played a big role in him not being able to realise his true potential. There was a time when Neymar was considered alongside Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo as a Ballon d'Or contender. However, those days are far behind us. The Neymar of today is completely different to the one who lit the stage up a few years ago. However, on a positive side, the Brazilian forward is more mature and is becoming a true leader. Something must have happened somewhere down the road that has changed Neymar's outlook towards things. However, we do hope that the talented forward gets to have one last hurrah before he rides off into the sunset.